It's easy to think that the lead up to this World Cup is the most doubted an All Blacks team has ever been. However, over 40 years ago, another young team managed to rise past anyone's expectations.
It's the 1980s, and international condemnation of South Africa's apartheid policies is growing. After the intensely controversial 1981 Springbok tour, the upcoming All Blacks tour planned for 1985 is struck down in courts. However, to much of the rugby community, this was too big of a price to pay. Most New Zealand rugby players view playing the Springboks as the pinnacle of their career, and to miss the chance to measure up against the old enemy is seen as unconscionable by both sides. An unaffiliated touring team is assembled. All Black players were lured not only by the prestige of playing against the Springboks, but are also rumoured to have received large secret payouts from South Africa. Of the 30 players who had been selected for the 1985 tour, only David Kirk, John Kirwan and coach Fred Allen did not join the Cavaliers. The players who went found that their support for their actions was far less than they had expected. To many, this was a continuation of the downward spiral that New Zealand rugby was facing. All Black rugby had its struggles on the field too. An experienced contingent opted out of the 1983 tour to England and Scotland, which remains the only Northern Hemisphere tour that New Zealand failed to win a test. Even the Cavaliers themselves had lost 3 out of the 4 Springbok tests in their tour. On their return, the NZRFU banned all the Cavaliers from participating in the next 2 All Black tests. Expectations were low for the team selected to play against France and Christchurch. Of the team that's selected, just 4 had played a test before. This fresh-faced team was nicknamed the Baby Blacks. In comparison, the French were coming off a Northern Hemisphere championship. The entire All Blacks team had fewer caps than French fullback legend Serge Blanco. However, in a close game, the Baby Blacks managed to win 18-9, but perhaps more important than the result was the warmth with which this new fresh-faced squad, untouched by the running battles over South Africa, was greeted by the New Zealand public. While some of the Cavaliers would later re-enter the squad after their ban expired, many others would not, pushed out by a new generation of players. It was this team that just a year later would take New Zealand to its first victory in the inaugural World Cup. Despite how bleak the future had looked a few years prior, if the Cavaliers represented a low point in the relationship between the game of rugby and much of the New Zealand population, then the Baby Blacks would be the revival.